Hey everybody, Caitlin Hoffman here, Diamond Leader. I'm going to do this video on how I stay organized. Maybe something will help you. I strongly believe part of being successful in this business is having some kind of organization system. You know, it doesn't have to be super fancy, just something that you can keep names straight. People who are fast start qualified, that comes in handy when you become a diamond and you do cabs. So I'm just going to go over everything and hopefully it helps somebody. Okay, so first things first, I have a planner, okay? And I was given this planner by Michelle, and she got it from Hobby Lobby, and it's like the Create 365 Happy Day Planner or whatever. Super amazing. You can customize it. I put all these stickers in here by myself. Here, there was like a diamond magnet. Super excited about that. And I went and found like another diamond paper clip and that diamond paper clip. So what I like to do for my planner is I write down anything that's going on in my life. So I have endocrinologist appointments and blood work, and I've got well visits for the kids that I have scheduled. So I put like any kind of life appointment outside of the business I write in this planner. I also mark the days that I sign distributors and I write their names on the side. I write down all of our calls and any Zooms that I have planned. Like I have a couple today, and they're in my planner for today. So like any kind of appointment stuff I keep in here. Now it has like that first page, and then the next couple pages it has like individual days, like morning, afternoon, evening, and you can write like your daily goals in there. So I refer to those as well. So that's really all I use the planner for. That's what like last month looked like. So, and anytime I have like wrap parties scheduled, I have a wrap party for October. What my Zoom this week's going to be about on Thursday is written in here. So that's what this planner is for. I always have it open to this just as like a quick reference to everything. So I have that. I have a big old notebook. This is where I do projected volume. If I am going to do a Zoom and I'm going to write down certain questions, like my last recent Zoom, I wrote down all the questions and things that I wanted to talk about in here. So where's them? Any like goals when I'm working with my top runners, I wrote in here. Projected volume, I write everything down and add it up. It's really simple that way. Anytime that somebody gives me their information that has like a separate shipping and billing address, or they just want me to do the order for themselves, I also write all their info in here so I have it in one spot, and then I black it out later. So if anybody gets a hold of this, they don't grab somebody's like credit card number and stuff. So I always write this down, like write down ideas that I have for Zooms, things that I want to talk about, doing projected volume. I always like labeled at the top so I can go back through and look and see what my volume was for certain months. Now, I also have a big old binder. I think it's just a 1-inch binder. I'm going to go through what is exactly in here, and then what I do to keep track of LCs and every time I send somebody up, like where I write their name down and whatnot. So on the front, I just like made my own thing. So you don't have to do that. So first, I have a Steps to Success. This is laminated. When I do my first training Zoom with people, I show them this. It's blank because I have one that I fill out and I don't want to show them what's on that one. So I have a blank copy of this. And then I also have laminated copies of each chart, double diamond, triple diamond. My emeralded diamond are over here. So that way, if because your chart can change every month or even throughout the month, it can change several times. So you can just write like, all right, Stephanie and Ryan right here as my executives. Let's say one of them quits or somebody else hits 400 before the other person. Like, I don't have to print a new sheet. I can just erase it real quick, and then I can write Ashley. So this is like something when I'm trying to see, like, helping my team chart or doing like specific charts for myself. It's going to change every month. So all I did, I don't have a laminator or anything. I just bought, you can get them at Walmart. This one's single-sided laminated sheets, so like the back side of this isn't laminated, but you can buy the one that's like double. And it's just like a packet at Walmart, and you can just laminate things with it. So it's really, really handy. I love the dry erase marker. That way I can easily change things around instead of dealing with pencil or pen. I've learned not to do charting in pen because it does change. So this has made it easier. So I always have these handy too for my training Zoom, so I can show them what executive and Ruby charts look like. That's about all I show them in the beginning, just because I think after that it can get a little overwhelming if they don't understand anything. Then I guess I can go over what I do. So when I sign a loyal customer, I print a Steps to Success every month, and I'll write their names here. So if it goes past the 4, I just write them off to the side. I don't print new ones each time I complete the Steps to Success. I just write them all on one sheet. I write the month and the year, and then once I know what I got paid for this month, I will write the paycheck amount on there. So I have a section in here of just Steps to Success that like my entire, you know, see how this one, like I went crazy. I think I signed 19. I always write like the total number at the bottom so I can easily see. So each month I know who I signed, when I signed, how many I signed, and how much I got paid that month on one sheet. So that's what I do. I only print one of these a month, and I just write everybody on here. After that, I also write their date. So I'll write the date and then their name. Same with the distributors at the bottom. I do the date and then the name. And then I have 3 months worth of calendars printed. I just did it through Microsoft Word. They had blank calendars. So what I do is, this is where I keep track of my distributors' 30 days, like their first 30 days. When their Ruby bonus, when they're not eligible to receive it anymore, when that ends. And then my loyal customers' auto shipments. So if somebody ordered today, which today is, I don't even know what day it is. Today's the 18th. So if I had somebody sign up the 18th, I'll write their name on September 18th that they ordered. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at October 18th, and I'm going to write so-and-so second AS, so second auto shipment. And then I have November because, you know, they have 3 months worth of auto shipment. And then on the 18th, I'm going to write so-and-so last AS, last auto shipment. So when I have these to look at as well, I like to send a personal reminder before their next order runs. I know it works, sends them reminder emails, but sometimes they don't get it. I don't know, or they just don't check their emails. So I don't want it to be a surprise to them, and this kind of prevents credit card declines like a little bit more. So usually every Sunday, which today is Sunday, I will look at this and see who I have for the week, and I will let them know, okay, on every Sunday, I look whose orders are running this week. I'll message them and let them know if it's their second or their third order. And then after everybody's orders run for the end of the month, on the last day of each month, I go through and see who had their third order run, and then I message them and let them know, you've completed your initial 3 months. Here are your options. I let them know they can keep it running for 6 or 12 months to get the extra perk points, or they can turn it off, and I tell them how to manually turn it off. I let them know they manually have to do it. A lot of people assume that it automatically turns off because they signed up for this 90-day challenge when, you know, we know it's just a little customer agreement and it does not automatically shut off. So I don't want somebody to get mad that a 4th order ran and they assumed it was going to shut off after 3 months, and that is not the case. So anyways, so I always write their 3 months worth of orders. Now, if they keep going past the 3 months, I don't remind them anymore because they are aware that they can shut it off at any time. If an issue, they usually message me, and then I help them, change their order or cancel it or whatever it is that they need to do. So I always have 3 months worth here. Something that I used to do was in this first page in my binder, are all my calendar months since I started. So, or why does that say December? Oh, okay, I didn't do it I didn't start till December. But I wrote everybody's name that I signed when, whose 30 days were up. This one looks crazy, but along the bottoms on this, I started writing potentials that I needed to follow up with. If they gave me a certain date, I would write their name down and circle it. So you see how those people are circled? Those are people that gave me a date and said they wanted to order. The people along the bottom here are interested. They just hadn't ordered yet. So this is a way for me to keep track of who I talked when, like which month, and people that didn't give me a date yet. And so if, I have them all in this stack here of my potentials, LCs and distributors. I can go back through and review them all in this little folder here. So that's what I do. And then what I like to do is, after I sign somebody, let me find the sheet. Okay, I'll go over that in a second. That was just LCs. So that's what I do for LCs. So, that first pocket there are all my charts and stuff that I can easily refer to for my trainings. And then that first folder is those calendar months that I print off every month. What's next is I have the It Works You guidebook printed off. This has, everything kind of broken down. This is one of the first things I read when I signed up. I highlighted, I wrote extra notes. If there was anything I had a question about, I asked. So I always had this in front of me, something that I could just continuously read. Because when I first started, there were some terms that I didn't understand because this is something that I've never done before. So, and it also has the list of, I probably need to print a new one because it doesn't have our new products in it. I printed this when I first started. But it's got just a brief description of our products on here. So it was something I could look at that had all the products on it, what eSuite is used for, stuff like that. So I think this is really good to have on hand. The next folder is the pocket of success that I have. Then I printed the compensation plan when I first started. I probably read this thing like twice a month because I'm still learning. And when you hit diamond, new parts of the compensation plan open up. So it can get confusing, especially for me since I've never done anything like this before. So if you don't understand it, don't freak out because I didn't understand it for probably 5 months, and that's when I hit diamond. And then I thought I understood it, and then a new part of the compensation plan opened up because I went diamond. And then I didn't understand it again. So there were new parts that I had to learn. So I look at this thing like twice a month, you guys. Okay. It also has the income disclosure thing on there. I need to print a new one because that one says 2013. So this one's blank. I don't know why that was blank. Okay, so how I organize distributors once they're signed and before they're even signed. So I have this list and I made this in Excel. It just had, I'll show you a blank one. I just wrote potential distributor at the top. It's got name, their contact info, if I had their phone number, if I met them through Facebook or through Instagram, and it says date of contact. So like the initial date of contact. So I have a list here of like potentials like that. And when I sign somebody that is on my list, I highlight them. And I actually signed this first person at the top this month. So I'm going to highlight her name. And if somebody gives me a date that they're going to sign up, I write it just off to the side here, off on the chart, so I can look at it and say, okay, like this person wants to sign here. I actually have somebody just give me a date. Let's see if they're on my list. not even on my list anymore. Okay, so I put her name, how we met. We talked this month, 2016, and October 2nd is when she said she was going to join. So I wrote that off to the side, okay, guys? And then the next tab that I have, so there's that tab, and then I have it separated by these little things. The next one is like potential loyal customers. I just started a fresh one. It has their name, how I met them, the products they were interested in, and the initial date of contact. And then the next tab, I'll show you a blank one. Personally enrolled distributor. So when I sign a distributor, their name goes on this sheet. The date that I sign them, their name, their distributor ID number, and when they become Fast Start qualified, I write it in that spot. So, and I also like to separate it by months. So the first month or the second month I started, I have 4 November dates from last year. So I'll draw like a little line and write 4 off to the side so I can easily just see how many I signed that month. And then the next tab I have is once you become Diamond, you keep track of your cabs. So anybody you sign or somebody on your team signs after you go Diamond is on your cabs. So it just has the date signed. I'll show you a blank one. I have all these documents. If anybody is interested in having them, I can send it to you. Date signed, name, distributor ID number, their enroller name. So like I said, cabs are anybody you enroll after you go Diamond or somebody on your team enrolls a distributor. So if I write them, I just write me. If somebody else signed them on my team, I write that person's name. And then if those people get Fast Start qualified, I have a column for that as well. So that's kind of where I put my distributors and my potentials, along with the calendar that I do. I kind of stopped doing that because I moved more towards the list. But I can go back and look at all those people that I talked to. And those potentials are people, the distributors, or the potentials on these calendars. Those are people that actually gave me a response that I had a conversation with, and their name went down on there. So their name would have went down on these lists now. I've kind of moved, this is a little bit more organized than what I was doing. So I've kind of shifted towards that. The next one that I have are the party pad notes. If you're doing a rep, and I also have printed off the slideshow, so I can write notes, like my own notes in there. So I actually have a rep party scheduled for October. So I'm going to go look over these again and go through the slideshow. The slideshow, it's just called the party pad slideshow on eSuite in the document section. This is in there. And it's got the notes and stuff. Super simple. The next one, I know you don't have to keep these order forms, okay? But I do. I'm OCD. And when I first started, I actually, you know, we all are kind of hurting for money in the beginning. And I've always run an auto shipment. I always have run my website. My husband's running an auto shipment now. So I had a column for spent and earned, and I wrote down everything I spent and everything I earned. And I was able to finally figure out when I was profiting, you know, because I was spending the money on the auto shipment and I was buying my wrap rewards and I was getting paid and making wrap cash. So I kept track of everything, all my Fast Start bonuses. I don't do that anymore, but I did it in the beginning till we had like a decent actual profit in the business. Then I was like satisfied. I was like, okay, like we're good. We're just going to keep profiting from here. So anyways, I have these I put all my orders that come in here. Next section I have, when I promote to a rank, the chart that I used that month, whoever I used, like their names, the volume that I have, Ruby, Ryan, Ruby, Emerald, what have you. The chart that I used that month to promote, I have those saved just so I know who I used and what my volume looked like and how things are changed now and the date, the month that I promoted. I have that written down there as well. I'm like super OCD, you guys, so some of this might not be necessary for you, but I can find everything in this binder that I need. Okay, this next little folder I have how to send in the instructions for sending in before and afters to compliance. And then I have the consent forms that people have to sign. I just like cut one off when people sign it. So I just have a bunch of copies of those consent forms and how to send it in. Okay, next I have when I was a part of Jade's LC interview, top LC recruiting video she did, you guys, she had us all answer the same questions, and we all went into this document, which I have the document, and everybody wrote down their answers. So what do you post? What messages do you send out? Do you cold message? Where do you get your people from? The messages that get the best response. All the ladies she interviewed for that LC training, all of their answers are like in here. I can go through and review it. And then she did one for the distributor one too. I just got the distributor one recently. And then I printed off like a couple different wording things. Back when I started, I could probably throw all these away. Yeah. Anyway, so just some quick, like, their best messages for LCs, and then the one for the distributor I have to print off. So I have that. I've got a section here that just has some of the materials I've used. For my Blitz cards, the ones that I self-laminated and have hanging off of the diaper bag or my keychain, whatever it may be, like I just bought this self-seal little laminating pouch. Just a smaller version of that bigger one that I did for the charts. And then on the back of my Blitz cards, these are all blank. Okay, so I bought like blank labels that I can stick in the printer, and what I did was I just created something to where I could print it off and it looks better than my handwriting and everything's really clear. So this is just like a sheet of those labels. I need to print a new one, but it's got all my contact info. It looks really clean. I actually saw somebody with a Blitz card who did this, but they also had a picture on there, so it looks like they ordered it online. But if I were to get one of these cards, you know, I'd probably just go to my Facebook to see what I look like because my Facebook URL is on here. But if I were to have like a nice looking picture of me on here already, they might, I feel like that would increase their chances of them contacting me because they already know what I look like instead of like taking the time to look it up. I don't know. It just looked really professional and she looked really nice in her photo and I'd probably want to contact her. So I think she did that online. I don't know where. I just saw a Blitz card, but for now this is what I have. But I really am considering adding a photo of myself on my label for my Blitz cards. Okay. All right. The next section I have is Jade had the Diamonds recommended this book, Go For No. It's a really great book. It's really small. It's a good read. Love it. So it's self-development book. And then in the back, just a daily guide to freedom, like things, like a little routine. Jade had us print this off too. Things you can do morning, noon, and night, etc. So that is what I have in my big old binder. And on the back, I have the list of all the products and the BV and the prices. So if I'm out and about, I just look up on my website on my phone. But if I'm here at the house and I don't know it off the top of my head, because there's some products that I don't know the BV or the retail and LC price of, I've got, you know, the list right here. So it tells you the name, the item number, the retail price, the little customer distributor price, and the BV count. So I have that with me at all times. When I do wrap parties, or if I meet somebody somewhere, this has everything in it that I need to show them. I'm not going to show them everything, obviously, but it is all right here. in one place. Okay, so I do that. Okay, so that's all there. And I always have my steps to success for this month and September, like 3 months worth, current 3 months worth of calendar printed off. So if I sign somebody, I can write it all down. Those are always out. They're always on top of my binder. And then this is usually open to the last thing I was writing or a blank page. If I need to do volume again, I just add a page and just start writing my ideas and things that I think I need to say. So yeah, so that is my organization system. Now, something that I did notice was when it came time, the writing on the little calendar, the calendars that I print off for people that I need to get a hold of if they've given me a date to sign up. I noticed that there were some days I just never looked at my calendar, and there were a couple people that I did miss signing up, and they never messaged me back, or I didn't get them signed up till much later. So I was kicking myself for doing that. There are just some days that I can't sit in here at this office, and it's in my bedroom, and look at it. So I just didn't always, especially when I go home too. I feel like I'm a disaster when I go home. With the organization system, I bring that binder, yes, but I don't have like a set desk or place I can set everything, so it's not always sitting out to where I could glance at it. So somebody, I don't know if it was Jenny, one of the fellow diamonds suggested using the phone calendar, and for people that have given me a date, or if I have a Zoom, like a meeting that I don't normally have scheduled, like I have 2 today that I'm doing that I don't normally do. I always have them on Thursdays, but if I have any extra ones where I need to talk with somebody wants to set up a separate Zoom for charting or whatever, all I do is I go into my phone and it's like September 2nd. It's just my phone calendar. Okay, you guys. And I just click on the date, and there were 2 people that I was supposed to sign September 2nd. Only one of them answered me back, and she actually signed up on the 2nd. And like where I met them, I set an alarm for that morning, so my phone will go off in the morning and say, hey, you have somebody you're signing today. I either write DT or LC right next to it. And it's an alarm. It goes off, so I don't have to look at anything. If somebody gives me a date, it goes in my phone. Or if I have a Zoom meeting, it's going to go off in the morning and let me know, hey, don't forget you have a meeting today. The phone calendar with the alarm has really helped me stay on track and make sure that I am messaging people, or if I need to follow up with somebody, this has really helped me. It's made a lot of difference. I always have my phone with me. We work from our phone. Seriously, my phone's never away from me unless it's like dead and it's charging and I need to walk away from it. Because if not, then I'm like stuck on the charger at 5% the entire time it's charging. So I have to walk away for it to go to 100. The only other thing I do is when I'm sitting at my desk, I write down little ideas on a Post-it note, like what my next Zoom is going to be about, and then I'll use this paper to write down actual things I want to talk about. I hope that helped somebody be a little bit more organized, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you guys want any of those documents that I made myself for the potentials, or the potentially enrolled or personally enrolled distributors, or the CABs. I just made those myself in Excel. So, all right, you guys, have a good day.